I love the smell of BLO in the morning. Hey y'all, I'm James Wright and welcome to my shop. Today I want to talk about making boiled linseed oil. Now this is a finish that I absolutely love. It's very simple. You almost cannot mess it up. It goes on very easily. It brings out the color. It's just a beautiful, beautiful finish and I love it. It's not extremely durable and so there's other finishes for that. But for things in the shop and the hand tools and things like that, I like to feel the wood and boiled linseed oil is perfect for that. Now you can go out and buy the store-bought boiled linseed oil and this is great. It works well. It does exactly what you want it to do. It dries quickly. I love it. The only issue with it is that they use a chemical dryer in it. And basically what that does is it encourages the oil to polymerize very quickly. And it makes it a great finishing dryer. But some people have some issues with the chemical dryer and they don't like chemicals in their things. And you have to use gloves and that type of thing for it. And some people have a problem with that. Me, not so much, but everyone's a little bit different. So what I found is I found a friend who actually makes his own boiled linseed oil. And he makes it because he does his own oil painting. He makes his own oil paints from the linseed oil. Now he has a vacuum boiler. And basically what it does is it allows you to boil the oil inside of a vacuum. So you can heat the temperature up to the point that it doesn't ignite, because there's no oxygen in the vacuum, which is fantastic because the boiling point of linseed oil, the point at which you need to heat it up to, is very, very close to its ignition point. So you have to be very, very careful when heating it up that you don't heat it up too far and it suddenly spontaneously combusts on your oven. And that's why it is very dangerous to make boiled linseed oil. So what most people end up doing is they heat it up a little ways and then they add in a chemical dryer. And in the Middle Ages, they found out that there were a bunch of different things that they can put into it to make it cure faster without having to bring it up all the way to the temperature that makes it very dangerous and hard to judge. So today I want to go into, if I don't have a boiler, a vacuum boiler, but you want to make boiled linseed oil out of raw linseed oil, what do you need to do? So let's take a look at that. So what I get is flaxseed oil. Flaxseed oil is linseed oil. Lin is just the scientific name for flaxseed. And so I bought this off of Amazon. It's fairly cheap stuff. If you have someone who has a seed juicer or something that can crush the oil out of the flaxseed, you can go buy flaxseed and crush the oil out yourself. This is the exact same thing. It's just raw linseed oil. You can drink it, although too much of it is not very good for your system and makes you go to the bathroom often. Don't ask me how I know. But all you need is raw linseed oil and a place to boil it. Now I'm going to do this on my grill outside so that if something goes wrong and it self-ignites, I will lose the grill, but nothing else. So don't do this inside. Number two, you're going to need a thermometer so you can very accurately judge the temperature of the oil. Now I have this laser thermometer that will give me a reading at a distance and it's great, but it's not terribly accurate. And so I want to be a little bit more accurate. So for that, I actually have this probe. It's from Dr. Meter. It's one I got that I actually trust. I like it. I'll leave a link to both of these down below. And this allows you to stick it into the pot and you can both read the temperature right on the surface of the pot and in the oil. So you can actually get different readings from different spots around the oil. Whereas this will just give you a lasered reading that you're not really sure, is it reading off the bottom of the pot or is it reading the oil? This is just far more accurate. So I'll leave a link to both of those down below. Once you have those, you just need a pot and a heating source outside where you can get it up around 600 degrees or so. And that's about it. So let's actually jump into what you need to do and I'll talk you through the process. Now I put the oil into a pot on the burner of the grill. If you have a one that you can put on an extension cord and bring it outside, that works great as well. I just like to do it out here. It's a fairly simple process to do it with a propane. Pouring the linseed oil in the pot, then I can judge it for temperature. Somewhere around 220 is the smoke point of the oil. You'll start to see smoke coming off it. Don't worry about that. Just constantly be keeping an eye on it. I use the laser sensor to check it closely, but the probe thermometer gives me the closest temperature. I'll leave a link to both of these down below, but I'll put the probe on the bottom of the pot as that'll be the hottest point. Occasionally I might check it in the middle of the oil, but actually on the metal of the pot at the bottom gives you your hottest point that it can be. So keep an eye on the difference between the actual oil and the pot on the bottom. Around 420, 450 is when you want to start paying attention to this. At 450, I'm keeping a very close eye on it, and what you'll see is that the oil goes from being clear to almost like someone threw wisps of cotton into it. Just kind of gets fuzzy. In this case, it happened right around like 450, 455, 460, somewhere right in there. And here you can see the difference, and it's kind of cottony. The camera doesn't pick it up very well, but it just happened, and I'm just making sure that it fully cures out. And right about 460, I'm going to pull the pot off of the burner, and it is done. That's all you have to do. So there you have it. I have the store-bought boiled linseed oil that was created in a vacuum, and then boiled linseed oil from my own backyard. Now, this is probably going to dry the fastest. The chemical dryers do allow it to dry much faster. Well, not much faster. This just takes a couple hours longer, and this takes a couple hours longer than that. The more you can heat it up, the faster it will dry, the faster it will polymerize, and that's why the vacuum boiled can actually raise it above its flash point, because there's no oxygen, as long as you let it cool down before you open the pot back up. Not good. So this will dry usually in less than 24 hours. This will dry a little bit over 24 hours, and this I'll often give it like 28 to 30 hours, and it's pretty darn dry and ready to go on. So I hope you like this video, a little bit of information. I do have other videos on boiled linseed oil, and later this week I'm going to be putting out a couple others on making bleached linseed oil, and then some of the dangers and practices of it. So I hope you like this. If you did, please hit like and go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If you want to see behind the scenes videos, I have a second channel over here, and I want to say thank you to the patrons on Patreon. You guys are really the reason why I can do things like this and buy what I need to make all these experiments and put things out for you. I hope you like that, and if you did, please hit Patreon down here and take a look at that. Until next time, have a wonderful day.